Hey, do you ever get distracted by new shiny objects or cuddly animals? Like dog and cat videos? Well, this is not a dog video, although this is my dog, Shaka. He obviously is very interested in what we're doing right now. But, you know, we all get distracted by this stuff. It's sort of like, you know, when you read something along the lines of this, that says, you know, hey, forget everything you ever learned about marketing because it's all new now, right? Or another one that says, the new rules of marketing. You know what? A lot of that is just hogwash. Because the bottom line is that marketing is marketing. And, you know, number one, you want to use marketing. You want to use the best tools possible to reach your audience, no question about it. But there are basics about marketing that are just as true today as they were 10 years ago. And I'm going to prove it to you because I'm going to show you a video that I recorded 10 years ago, put on YouTube. It had over 10,000 views at the time, and it is still just as relevant today as it was back then. In fact, it follows the what I call being brilliant at the basics. And what I talk about in there are number one, the definition of marketing, and number two, the purpose of marketing. And you'll probably also see that it's a precursor to when I finally put together what I call my marketing diamond. So I hope you like it, watch it, learn from it, share it, tell me what you think. And also, we're celebrating, this is the 99th episode of Uncopyable Business Video. So next week, going to have the big 100. So thanks for watching, thanks for being a BFF, and hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks. Bye.
Hi, this is Steve Miller, better known as Kelly's dad. I'm here in my office in Federal Way, Washington, which is a city that has been named after a road, Federal Highway, a city with a serious identity crisis, I think. But anyway, we're right outside of Seattle, Washington, and I want to welcome you to this first webcast video that I'm doing. I'm doing a series of marketing videos to kind of see how you guys like this stuff. If you like it, then I'm going to do more of it in the future too. But this particular webcast, I thought that I would kick off the series by talking a little bit on the higher altitude side of strategic marketing, and to start with some definitions that will put us all on the same page, and you'll understand kind of where I'm coming from and my philosophy about marketing in general with these definitions. Now, to begin with, I always assume, you know, whether I'm working with a small entrepreneur, one person, a business office, working out of his or her home, or working with a large corporation, or a trade association, or a trade show, or anybody like that, I always assume that this is not what you want. You do not want to blend in with the crowd. You do not want to look and act like everybody else. Unfortunately, though, in most cases, most industries, people tend to follow a central strategic orthodoxy. And essentially what that means is people tend to do what the other people are doing. Organizations tend to do what the other organizations are doing in their industry. And that's not what we want. What we want is this. We want to separate ourselves from the crowd. We want to appear to be superior, different, better, faster, whatever it is, than our competition in some way to our prospects and our customers, so that they will want to do business in the beginning, and they will want to continue to do business with us as we go along. And that leads me into my very first definition. And that definition is, what is the purpose of business? Now, I suspect that if I were to give you time to think about this, you'd probably come up with something that's pretty close to what I'm going to tell you. But I believe that the purpose of business is to create and maintain long-term profitable relationships. to create and maintain long-term profitable relationships. So what we're trying to do, and of course this makes total sense, what we're trying to do is we're trying to go out and create a new relationship with a customer. And then we're trying to maintain that relationship because we want that to become a long-term relationship. And of course, if we are good business people, then we want that to be a mutually profitable business relationship with the other people. So it doesn't matter how we create that relationship, whether we're doing it through face-to-face sales, whether we're doing it through direct marketing, through the internet, whether we're going to trade shows and we're meeting people for the first time. To create that relationship is the beginning of the process. And then once we create it, again, like I said, we want to turn that into a long-term, profitable, mutually profitable relationship. Now, if you agree with that, and I suspect that you probably do, if you agree with that statement, then the question we have to ask ourselves is, where does marketing fit into this? I mean, how does marketing fit into the purpose of business? So what is the definition of marketing? Now, I suspect you kind of have your own idea of what that is, and I've read an awful lot of different ideas in business books and heard other speakers talk about this stuff. But I'll give you my definition of marketing and what it is. And it's a pretty simple formula, really, is what it boils down to. I believe that the definition of marketing is we are looking to create the right product that connects with the right customer using the right message through the right media. So essentially, what I'm saying is we're trying to connect all of these things together, trying to create that perfect storm where we're able to create a product that is specifically designed and produced for a specific customer. We have a very clear picture of who that customer is. It's like sometimes people will say to me, well, everybody needs this product. And I say, well, then, if you think everybody needs this product, then nobody's going to buy this product. And it's really better to focus and laser beam on a specific targeted customer. And then that customer, you are going to want to create a message for that customer that resonates with him or her, so that they feel like, oh yeah, okay, this is something that I'm looking for. This is something that I need. Now, of course, then we have to use the right media to reach that customer, because we want to make sure that it's stupid to use media, advertising or direct mail or anything like that that are going to people who are not in our target market. Because then we're kind of going like this, with the media and the customer. Now, we want all of this to go just like this. And then the fifth component of the marketing is the right time. And this is really kind of where the sticky wicket comes in. Because, like I said, we can create the right product. When we study the customer base, the category that we want to deliver products to and we want to work with, well, we can then create a product that they need. We can then come up with the right message, and we can then define or find the right media to communicate with them. But here's where the problem is. The problem is that when is the right time? When is the right time? They are the ones who determine the right time. When they're going to buy your product or your service. Now, let me use a trade show, for example, because, one of the great big arguments against trade shows right now is, oh, well, we're not writing orders anymore. Well, yeah, okay, 20 years ago, people would go to trade shows and they would write orders at trade shows. Now, there are a whole bunch of reasons why that's not happening anymore, but that's completely irrelevant to the discussion. You see, people say, well, if you can't write an order at a trade show, then it must not be worth anything. Well, and I'm saying, no, you see, you can have the right product, the right customer, the right message, and the right media, all of those related to a trade show, for example. It just isn't the right time. That's all. But you are still looking to begin that conversation, that relationship with a prospect, so that whether they buy at the show or whether they buy a month later, 3 months later, a year later, it doesn't matter. They are on the conveyor belt of relationship building to where they get to the point of you are now creating a new relationship with them. And And if you just go to a trade show thinking you're going there to write orders, well then for you, your definition of the right time is right now, this moment at the trade show, is that over the period that this trade show is open, these people have to write the orders right now. Okay, and if they don't write the orders right now, well then this trade show is no good. And you could use that analysis with any media, any marketing tool out there. But I know that a lot of you go to trade shows. So time is always the biggest issue when it comes to customers and prospects. So, or as I like to put it to people, you know, what is the purpose of marketing? See, I think it's one thing to have a definition of marketing, but then to me, this is even more important. And I think this is so critical that I even tell my clients to, you know, put this on a piece of paper and put it up on their wall in their office so that they're looking at this thing all the time. You see, the purpose of marketing is to be on the mind of the prospect when the prospect is ready to buy. To be on the mind of the prospect when the prospect is ready to buy. Or as I like to put it, when that lightning bolt comes out of the sky and it hits them in the middle of the head and they say, oh, I need that product or I need that service. Well, do they think of you first? Do they think of you second? Do they think of you at all? See, our objective is that if we are good at marketing, then when that lightning bolt comes out of the sky, we are the only solution they're thinking about. So it's all about timing. That is the key issue with marketing. All the other things we have some type of control over. What we don't have control over is timing. So with that, you know, that concludes this webcast. Just short and sweet. Just want to talk to you a little bit about the definitions of business, create and maintain long-term profitable relationships with people, my definition of marketing, and especially the purpose of marketing, so that everything else that I talk about in all my other webcasts kind of fall back into those definitions. So this is Steve Miller. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in my next webcast.